Allow me to reintroduce myself.
Welcome to Game Time with Hubb, your all-access pass to the hottest stories in football, basketball, boxing, and wrestling. Whether it's game-winning touchdowns, buzzer beaters, knockout punches, or jaw-dropping suplexes, we've got it all covered. He's your host, Hubb.
What's up? What's up? Welcome back to Game Time with Hubb. You already know who this is. And look, we here now. It's playoff time, wild card weekend. Now, we finished the regular season at 182, 89, and 1. That's 67.1% over 18 weeks. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty solid. You know what I mean? And they say the playoffs are a new season, but looking at this 2026 bracket, you better hope that's true because the seedings don't tell the whole story. You look at the AFC and you see the Patriots and the Broncos sitting up top with 14 wins, but look closer. You got a Steelers team that scrapped their way in, and you got the Bills walking into that human chaos in Jacksonville. Then over in the NFC, can the 8-9 Panthers team really hang with a 12-win Rams squad? And are we really about to get the Packers versus the Bears, winner go home with the rivalry turned up to 100? That's round 3 for them this year. I'm Hubb, and we're previewing every snap, every spread, every storyline of Wild Card Weekend. This is Game Time with Hubb. Now let's run through the slate that we're going to have this weekend. Now all these times are Eastern, so we're kicking it off today, which is Saturday, 4:30 p.m. We got the 5th seed Rams taking on the 4th seed Panthers. That's going to be on Fox. Then at 8:15 tonight, got the 7th seed Packers taking on the 2 seed Bears. That's going to be on Prime Video. And then tomorrow, January 11th, we kicking off at 1:05 p.m. with the 6th seed Bills taking on the 3rd seed Jacksonville Jaguars. That's going to be on CBS. Then at 4:40 p.m., we got the 6th seed 49ers taking on the 3rd seed Philadelphia Eagles on Fox. And then the nightcap for Sunday Night Football tomorrow night, we got 8:15 p.m., the 7th seed LA Chargers coming to Foxborough to take on the 2 seed New England Patriots. That's going to be on NBC. And then we cap off Wild Card Weekend on Monday Night Football. That's 8:15 p.m. We got the 5th seed Houston Texans traveling to Pittsburgh to take on the 4th seed Pittsburgh Steelers, ESPN. Now, here's the playoff scenario piece. The number 1 seeds was the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks. Both have byes, and they'll host the lowest remaining seed next week in the divisional round. So every game this weekend isn't just about surviving. It's about who you get rewarded with next. All right, now let's go game by game, break these things down, and provide these picks, y'all. All right, we kicking this thing off at Bank of America Stadium. We got the 5th seed Rams coming into town to take on the 4th seed Carolina Panthers. This is part 2 because the Panthers already stunned the Rams in week 13, 31-28, and ended the Rams' 6-game winning streak right there in this same exact building. Lightning hit once, can it hit twice? Now, the Rams come in with a better resume, but Carolina's living off that we already did it once confidence. And the Rams, they've had wake-up calls late in the year. They're not trying to play cute with this one. My 3 keys in this one is, number 1, Devontae Adams' red zone impact. The Rams expect Devontae Adams back after missing time since he aggravated a left hamstring in week 15. The Rams missed him most in the red zone. 9 of his league-leading 14 receiving TDs came in goal-to-goal situations. That's not nice to have. That's a cheat code near the end zone. Number 2, Panthers goal-to-goal pass defense versus the Rams red zone plan. Here's the twist. The Panthers have allowed only 5 passing TDs in goal-to-goal situations this season, tied for fewest in the NFL. So if you're Carolina, you're basically saying, we'll tighten the screws when the field shrinks. If you're LA, you're saying, cool, we're bringing Adams back and forcing the issue anyway. And number 3, trenches plus run game map. This might be the cleanest matchup advantage of the weekend. The Rams are 2nd in run block win rate at 74.1%. The Panthers are 32nd in run stop win rate at 26.2% and 26 in EPA allowed per design run. This sets up a game where LA doesn't have to gamble. They can lean on Kyron Williams and Blake Corum, but the Rams will be without Kevin Dotson. He hurt his ankle. who ranks 24th of 62 guards in run block win rate. So Carolina got one clear target up front. My takeaway in this one, Carolina's back into the playoffs, losing 3 of their last 4. And the last time they saw a true heavyweight, they lost 27-10 at home to the Seahawks. I respect the Week 13 upset, but I'm not betting on the replay. And the Rams also know that one thing can flip this game. If Matthew Stafford turns it over again like in Week 13, 3 turnovers, then all bets are off. But I'm expecting focus. I'm expecting not again energy. My pick here, Rams. All right, from a revenge game to a rivalry game, we go to Soldier Field where we got the 7th seed Green Bay Packers taking on the 2 seed Chicago Bears. Oh, man, look, this is the one. Bears, Packers, and the playoffs is rare. They've only met once in the postseason during the Super Bowl era, and it was the NFC title game at Soldier Field that swung on a fourth quarter pick 6 by defensive tackle B.J. Raja. I remember him. And Chicago lost by 7. If you're a Bears fan, you still feel that. Now, these teams know each other too well, right? They played twice in the last 5 weekends. Round 3 is here, and it's win or go home. My 3 keys in this one is, look, number 1, Bears can't keep starting slow. Chicago's first half lately have been the problem. Over the last 3 games in the first half, they got outscored 47-21, ran 66 fewer plays, lost time of possession by 10 minutes and 43 seconds, and went 2 for 12 on third downs. And it's been a theme against Green Bay. Bears trailed 14-3 and 6-0 at halftime in the regular season meetings. If Chicago wants this, they can spot points and then play catch-up in January. Number 2, protection wins and both sides can protect. This is a clean pocket type of game. The Bears lead the league in pass block win rate at 73.6%. The Packers are at 6 in pass block win rate at 69%. So yes, both quarterbacks should have time to throw the ball. And number 3, Green Bay's defense post Micah Parsons. The Packers defense without Micah Parsons has looked like a different unit, and the split is nasty. Before the Parsons injury, the record was 9-3-1, 19 points allowed per game, 287.2 yards allowed per game, 101.4 rushing yards allowed per game, 2.5 sacks per game. Now, after the injury, the record here is 0-4, 28.3 points allowed per game, 392 yards allowed per game, 170.8 rushing yards allowed per game, and 0.8 sacks per game. That's not a dip. That's kind of like a cliff, man. Also, Jordan Love's storyline is real. Since taking over in 2023, he's been efficient versus Chicago, 116.6 passer rating, 9.2 yards per attempt. And this is his first start since his concussion at Soldier Field in Week 16. In 5.5 quarters versus Chicago this season, he's been cooking slants and crossers, 7 of 7 for 133 yards and 2 TDs on those looks. Now, my takeaway here, I'm not shocked if the Packers win. Experience matters, and they've been here 3 straight seasons. But I can't ignore 4 straight losses coming in and that defense fall off without Parsons. If Chicago plays their style for 60 minutes, run game, key downs, turnovers, they can control this. And Chicago has a defense that can flip a game with takeaways, NFL's best 33 takeaways, plus they're expected to get Kyler Gordon back, which helps the chessboard. So my pick here, the Bears. All right, quick timeout. And if you're rocking with Game Time with Hubb, make sure you subscribe. Leave that rating and share this with your group chat that argues all day about football, and we'll be right back. Now, we kicking off this Sunday slate down in Jacksonville, Florida. Go to Everbank Stadium where we got the 6 seed Buffalo Bills taking on the 3 seed Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, the Bills in Jacksonville is not a casual trip, and here's the headline. Sean McDermott is 0-5 in road playoff games as the Bills head coach. That's not bad luck. That's a trend until proven otherwise. Now, Jacksonville is scorching hot, 8 straight wins, and they've beaten 5 playoff teams this season. The Panthers, the Texans, the 49ers, the Chargers, and the Broncos. So they're not fluky at all. My 3 keys in this one is, number 1, the road defense split for Buffalo. With Josh Allen in road playoff games, the Bills defense has been the swing factor. 33.5 points per game allowed on the road versus 19.8 points per game allowed at home. That's a massive gap. And in Jacksonville, you can't afford the defense to travel like it's still at the airport. Number 2, run game clash. Jags run defense versus James Cook. This game might be decided on the ground, and Jacksonville has the top-ranked run defense and did not allow a 100-yard rusher all regular season. And on the other side, you got James Cook, the league's leading rusher. Something's got to break here. And number 3, Jags protection plus Trevor Lawrence's season profile. Jacksonville's pass block win rate is 67.8%. That's ninth best, and is by far the best Lawrence has had in his career. Cole Van Lannon stepping in at left tackle in Week 13 matters. Has a 92% pass block win rate. That's 22nd best at that position. That's an upgrade. And Trevor Lawrence is thriving under first-year head coach Liam Cohen, third in the league with 38 offensive touchdowns while dealing with 36 drop passes, most by any quarterback. That's wild. Now, my takeaway in this one is right now, the Jags feel like the better team, but Buffalo has the best break the script player in the game in Josh Allen. In the postseason, he's had 25 TDs and 4 interceptions in 13 playoff games, averaging 311 total yards per game. That's superhero stuff. But the Jags can pressure, and they can take the ball away. They force the second most turnovers, and Buffalo's run defense is bottom 5, 136.2 rushing yards per game allowed, 28th in the league. So that's the path. Oh, and keep an eye on Jaguars kicker Cam Little. This season, he's made 2 longest field goals in NFL history, and nobody in playoff history has made 60-plus yard field goal. That's not a guarantee, but that's a threat. My pick here, Jaguars. All right, for our late window Sunday, this one is chess, injuries, and run game reality. We had the Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. We got the 6 seed San Francisco 49ers taking on the 3 seed Philadelphia Eagles. This matchup is a little spicy because it's not just talent, it's coaching DNA. Kyle Shanahan is going against Vic Fangio-led defense that's top tier. And Shanahan has said it for years. Fangio is one of the best schematic minds out here. Now, Philly is the defending champs, but they've been, let's just say, uneven. San Francisco's offense has been lively late, but Philly's defense, now that's the anchor for them. My 3 keys in this one is, number 1, Fangio's defense is real. The Eagles' defense ranks 5th in points allowed per game. That's 19.1. And Fangio's whole thing is, I'm going to stay sound and force you to be perfect. Shanahan's saying the same thing in different words. Fangio reads what you're trying to do and makes you adjust. Number 2, 49ers motion offense versus the Eagles discipline. San Francisco uses motion on 70% of their offensive plays, 3rd most in the NFL. This is an offense that messes with your eyes. If your discipline breaks, the Niners hit you. Number 3, the run game soft spot for San Francisco. Since week 7, right after Fred Warner's ankle injury, the 49ers have allowed opponents the 47% success rate on design runs, 3rd highest. And even though the Eagles haven't been as dominant on the ground as they were last year, this is the kind of matchup where Saquon Barkley can control the script. My takeaway here is, here's the numbers. Philly's offense struggles at times. Over the last 9 games, they ranked 22nd in EPA per play on offense. Meanwhile, the 49ers have been 3rd in EPA per play in that same span. With Purdy back from injury in week 11, that screams 49ers value, right? But then you flip it. Philly's defense finished 6th on the season. The Niners' defense is 25th. That gap is enormous. And the last time the 49ers faced an elite defense with a so-so offense, it ended in a narrow loss, and now they travel east with injuries on the report, including Trent Williams and Ricky Pearsall, while the Eagles are getting healthier. My pick here, Eagles. Now we head to Sunday night football in Foxborough. We got the 7 seed LA Chargers taking on the 2 seed New England Patriots. Now the Patriots went 14-3 division champs, and rebuild looks like it's time travel. Like Vrabel in year 1 turned a 4-13 team into a 4-3 squad. That's a little insane here. Now, this is a styles game. The Chargers want to keep it controlled defensively, and New England wants to be aggressive downfield but disciplined. Now, my 3 keys in this one is, number 1, Herbert's health plus protection problems. Justin Herbert has played through a fractured left hand since week 13, but he says it feels the best it's felt, and resting in week 18 helped. The bigger issue, the Chargers have been crushed at offensive tackle, and Herbert has taken the career-high 54 sacks. That's an Achilles heel. Number 2, can the Patriots generate enough pass rush? New England finished tied 22nd in sacks, so the question is, can they actually make Herbert uncomfortable? Harold Landry has missed the past 2 games with a knee issue. Kalavion Chatham got a sack last week, but it was his first since early November. New England's defense has also dealt with injuries like linebacker Robert Spillane. This is where the Patriots have to win. You can't let Herbert sit back all night. And number 3, the deep ball clash. Patriots air yards versus the Chargers shell. The Patriots average 8.7 air yards per attempt. That's second in the NFL. Chargers allow opponents only 5 air yards per attempt. That's third lowest. Because they live in the too high 50% of the time, and then they play zone 70% of the time, Drake May has to be patient, take what's there, stay efficient, and then pick your shots. Now, my takeaway in this one is, this is a tough one because the Chargers defense is built to prevent explosive plays and force long drives. That can frustrate a young quarterback. But the Patriots have been the most consistent team after starting 2-2. New England closed 12-1 with an average margin of victory of more than 12 points. Schedule may have been weak, we know that. But you can only play who's in front of you. If the Patriots defense can find just enough rush to speed up Herbert, especially the Chargers offensive line issues, then New England can win this with discipline and situational football. That leads me to my pick, Patriots. Now we bring the lights down because Monday Night Football is about pressure, quick throws, and defenses that punch back. Quick pause. If you want my picks every round, make sure you're locked in. Follow me everywhere and turn those notifications on. Because playoffs move fast, we'll be back in a second. All right, we head to Pittsburgh. We got the 5th seed Houston Texans taking on the 4th seed Pittsburgh Steelers. Monday Night Football in Pittsburgh, that's already a different type of energy. And the Steelers, they're feeling themselves, especially after bringing the John Harbaugh era in Baltimore to a close. But Houston has been a problem. Houston has lost only one time since the week before Halloween. They won 9 straight to close the season, and their only loss after the Week 6 bye were to the 2-1 seeds, the Broncos and the Seahawks. That's it. My 3 keys in this one is, number 1, Texans defense travels, and it's the calling card. Houston's defense have been suffocating, led by Will Anderson Jr. and Derek Stingley Jr. They're the tone setters. The one concern, last week Houston gave up a season-high 30 points. Even though the starters didn't play the full game, it still raises an eyebrow. Number 2, Steelers quick release versus elite edge rush. This is the matchup. Steelers offensive line has to deal with Will Anderson Jr. and Danielle Hunter, 29.5 sacks combined. The Steelers do have a built-in counter. Their 2.62 seconds average time to throw, fastest in the NFL, and Aaron Rodgers' quick release. But Houston's DBs, they know the quick game is coming. And number 3, the Texans offense. They can move it, but can they finish? Houston's been winning, but there's a huge stat that keeps games close. The Texans ranked 30th in red zone scoring percentage. That's why they lived in tight finishes. They've won 1 possession games in 7 of those 9 straight wins. If they leave points on the field, Pittsburgh can hang around. Now, my takeaway, I'm not predicting the blowout, not in that stadium, not on Monday night, not with that veteran defense. And there's always a chaos factor. A turnover or special team mistake flips everything. But Houston is the hotter team, and I trust their defense more. And Pittsburgh's offensive line can play well. They've given up only 2 sacks in each of their past 3 games since Dylan Cook joined the group. But this is their biggest pass rush test of the season. My pick here, Texans. All right, let's wrap this up. Quick recap of the wild card picks. I got Rams over Panthers, Bears over Packers, Jaguars over Bills, Eagles over 49ers, Patriots over Chargers, and Texans over Steelers. Now, I need you in the comments which underdog is most dangerous this weekend. Panthers, Packers, Bills, Niners, Chargers, or the Steelers. And what's your bold prediction? If you're rocking with the season, 182, 89, and 1, 67.1%, then you already know how we're coming in the playoffs. Same energy, sharper edges. I'm Hubb, and this is Game Time with Hubb. Follow, subscribe, tap in on all platforms. And we'll be back for the divisional round with the full breakdown when the bracket settles. Peace.
Thanks for checking out this episode of Game Time with Hubb. Make sure you like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so that you never miss Game Time action. See you next time.